Warning: the following contains talks of bloody imagery and extreme violence and the Terrifier films. If you do not like any of that, or are sensitive about it, please click off the video now. You have been warned.
Hi guys, welcome back to RP Film Studios. I'm Richard, and today I'm here to give you my Terrifier 3 spoiler review. Like it says, there will be spoilers here, so if you do not want to be spoiled or haven't seen the movie, I would advise you click off. But if you don't care about it, then feel free to watch it, don't watch it, do whatever, but you know, the more views helps. So but yeah, so let's get on with it. So like I said at my spoiler-free review, I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was a great follow-up to part 2. And yeah, so let's get on with spoilers. The film opens up pretty strong. It opens up with Art dressing as Santa, and he breaks into this woman's house and kills a child off screen, but we see the aftermath, similar to All Hallows Eve, when he kills those two children, and we see the aftermath, but not actually what happens. And then he kills Jennifer, who is the woman, in the house, and pretty gnarly too. Like, he chops off her arm, digs the axe into her chest, and he like drives it into her head, the back of her head, and then we see him encounter. Also, not to mention, he killed her husband too while he was sleeping. Pretty gnarly. Just driving the axe into him. But so then we see the little girl, little child that was like one of Jennifer's kids, and her fate is left open. You know, we just see Art wave to her, and she's frightened. Then we cut to the axe, and then so her fate is kind of left open. And then we cut back. We cut back 5 years earlier to Victoria Hayes and Chris Jericho's character, Burke. And basically, be warned, this is intense. We see Chris Jericho walk into Victoria Hayes' cell, and Victoria Hayes is eating. I'm not sure if this is the umbilical cord or just one of her intestines, but she's eating it. And then we see Art's head biting on her face. Then Art's headless body comes back to retrieve the new head of Art. And then the headless Art and Victoria rip Burke to shreds, like just ripping his jaw off, ripping his head. And then we see them on a subway, and they encounter a fan of Art, and like he's dressed up, pretty much everybody you see at a horror convention. And no, that was not a jab, that was just a joke, so calm down. Then they have a funny interaction, and I'm assuming that Art kills him, because then we see the horn that the fan had, and Victoria is messing with it, and Art gives this like look of he's angry. So then we see them at an abandoned house, and they basically, Art sits in a chair, right, and Victoria is just sitting in a bathtub, and they basically sit there for the whole, like, 5 years. And they basically sit there for 5 years straight with no movement. Sounds to me like they were just doing their best Michael Myers impression from Halloween Ends. But then we see these two guys, probably repairman, coming into the apartment, or not, yeah, abandoned house, whatever, and they find Victoria and Art. And then, so the one guy who finds Victoria, she has this shard of glass, and she stabs him in the neck, and then she stabs him some more, and then we see Art, do that little, like, movement that he does where he reaches out to the guy and, like, just grabs his face, and then he takes a nail and drives it in, stabs him in the hand with it. Victoria watching all this happen, and she's enjoying it. And then Art takes a box cutter and just starts cutting into his head like that until it's like completely just demolished. There's one other part of this kill I'm forgetting. So then we see Sienna 5 years later, and she's out of a mental hospital, and I really like her relationship with her aunt and uncle. I really like it and how they deal with the loss of Barbara, who is sisters with Sienna's aunt. Sienna and her aunt Jessica had a nice moment together. I really love Sienna's and Gabby's relationship, Sienna's cousin. And you are wanting... One thing I like about these movies is Damien and the rest of the crew make some of these characters so likable, and like you don't want anything bad to happen to them, because what's gonna happen to them if Art catches them. He's gonna torture them and probably do it in the most heinous of ways. So then we see Jonathan and his roommate Cole. Cole really, you're supposed to not really like him because he's kind of a rude person, but he does show that he cares about Jonathan. Like when Cole's girlfriend Mia is like super obsessed with Jonathan and how he survived Art the Clown, and so she starts pushing him to do this podcast, and Cole's like, no, it's not really the type of thing you want to revisit. And so it was real nice. Then we get to probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie, where we see this guy dressed as Santa, and he and these two other guys are hanging out, and then we see Art sees him. He acts like a full-on child. He's like all excited. And the thing is, the guy dressed as Santa was real nice to him, and the other guys weren't really nice to him. I mean, the Santa was really nice to him until Art pees on him, and then Art pulls out a pistol from his bag and shoots the two guys, and then ties the we don't know if it's a mall Santa, but he ties the Santa, and then uses carbon monoxide and freezes his legs and hands, and then destroys them with a hammer. And then he freezes the beard of the guy and then rips it off. And then then we get to the mall sequence. Art's handing out presents, and then one of the presents, it has a bomb in it, and it blows up one of the kids. That shocked me, because even in the opening scene where Art kills the kid and it's off screen, you see the aftermath and you're just shocked at like Art is willing to go these places. He's not afraid to kill kids. Like I said, he'll kill anyone, anywhere, at any time in the most crazy way possible. Then we see Jonathan go to a Christmas party. Or no, not Jonathan. Art go to a Christmas party at Jonathan's college. And Cole and Mia are in the shower, and this is where the kill happens. This is the bedroom scene of this movie. So me and Cole are in a shower, and Art is there, in the bathroom peeing, and then washing his hands, and then he goes to his trash bag, grabs a chainsaw, and full on rips them to shreds. And then once rips Mia to shreds, and then he puts the little Christmas tree glasses on her, and then he goes over to Cole, full on drives a chainsaw into his butt, and then he cuts him up into pieces, and then he does the little snow angel in blood. And this one really had a lot of people walking out. In my screening, there were 10 people. 4 walked out during the opening, and then we see Sienna. She's worried about Jonathan, and then she hears voices coming from the kitchen. She thinks it's her Uncle Greg and Aunt Jessica, and it turns out it's Victoria and Art, and they have Sienna's uncle is just nailed to the wall. His head is completely off, and then Art and Sienna have a little tussle, and then Art knocks Sienna out, ties her to a chair. This for me was probably more brutal than the shower scene in anything, and it involves rats. Okay, bear with me. Art and Victoria have Aunt Jessica tied up to a chair in front of Sienna, and Art takes this, this pipe or something, and jams it into her throat, and then, oh man, this was wild, he takes rats and puts it into the pipe, and then he pulls a blowtorch out and lights it so they crawl into her mouth, and then he takes a knife, and cuts her throat so the rats just fall out. I don't know what's worse, having the rats crawl into your mouth, or Art just cutting the throat and then the rats falling out. And then we learn that, and this to me, I felt it was so disrespectful, they killed Jonathan, and it was off screen though. And with how important of a character is, you would think he would be killed off screen. Maybe he's alive somehow, maybe he's not. But to me, I felt like that was just kind of disrespectful to the character. Trying to think. Then Art breaks Sienna's hands, and then Sienna opens a gift because Victoria has Gabby hostage, and Sienna opens a gift, and it's the sword from the second movie. Although we don't see Sienna go to the Terrifier attraction to get the sword, we just see she has dirty hands from where she gets it. We don't see what happens, we don't see how she gets it, but so she pulls out the sword, stabs Art, and then impales Victoria, and then decapitates Victoria, killing the demon. And then we learn the demon's intentions, and this is the same demon that possessed the little pale girl at the end in the second movie. And the demon's motive was to basically possess Sienna, but it fails because things chose her to be this warrior. And then Art and Sienna have a big fight with the chainsaw and the sword. Sienna ends up impaling Art, and then Gavi gets dragged into, I'm assuming, hell, because it's the same place where the demon goes, essentially, where the demon lives, essentially. So the Night Circle could appear in Terrifier 4. I did not have any of this prepared. I'm so sorry. And then the Art then vanishes as Sienna tries to save Gavi, but that gives Art time to vanish. And then we see, I thought this was real cool, we see Art on a bus, and we see this woman there, and the bus driver is played by Phil Falcone, who is the producer of these movies. Real cool. So the woman is sitting there reading a book called The Ninth Circle, which Art the Clown fans would know is a reference to The Ninth Circle, Art the Clown's first appearance, the short film. And then we see Art getting on the bus, sitting there, and he takes a horn and honks it, which is also a reference to the Night Circle when he's at the train station or bus station, whatever, and he honks the horn and annoys the woman, and then that ends the film, setting up for the fourth film. I'm really excited. Who knows if we'll see those characters again, like the woman and the guy on the bus in Terrifier 4. That maybe is how it opens, where he kills those two people. Who knows? But I'm really excited. Damien Leone, you are a genius. Everybody else, you all did fantastic. And I'm really glad I got to see this movie, and I'm going to see it again some more. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out. Also, during the editing of this, I forgot to mention that before the movie, there is an exclusive Screamboat trailer, which is the Mickey Mouse horror film that David Howard Thornton, the actor of Art the Clown, is doing. So I forgot to mention that, but yeah.
If you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on new videos. Bye.